Hey, man, it just feels like it's been a long time. And I just feel like I'm just glad to be talking to you. And it's it's refreshing. It's Christmas Day, 2025. Merry Christmas to you, to your family, your loved ones. I don't know, I don't know how Christmas time and Christmas Day is hitting for you right now. Everybody's going through something different. And so I hope it's a great time for you. And if it's a time where you're experiencing grief and sadness and perhaps feelings of disconnection, disengagement, depression, a plethora of negative things that you could experience or feel, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that that's happening for you. And my heart cares for you. And way more important than that, God cares for you. And He is there and very aware of your brokenness. And but if you're also on the side of it where you're like you're not experiencing those negative things, and really for you this is a really enjoyable time, I'm happy for you as well. I'm truly pleased to know that you may be having a wonderful time, a wonderful Christmas time. This is a time for you that things might open up and blossom, and you feel, if you're like me, maybe you feel rest in your soul, at least now. The last few Christmases, I've noticed for myself, I would feel, I'd often feel just kind of down, at least for part of it. Not totally sure why, but my soul would definitely struggle. Not just during Christmas time, but I think I feel like Christmas time for many years of my life has just been a struggle, an emotional battle, among other things. Maybe that's something that I can mine deeper. But this year, Christmas is a lot different. This is the first Christmas that I've had with my new wife, and life is completely different. Life is truly better than it ever has been. And I'm thankful for that. And no matter the difficulties or challenges and pressures of the soul, challenges of the soul, the thing I hold on to is being thankful. And what helps me be thankful is looking, even just looking over the course of the last year, 1 year back to this day, December 25th of 2024. And honestly, when I look back at the progress, when I look at the gains that have happened over the course of the last 12 months, I can't help but be thankful and just feel happy and deeply grateful, contented, having this sense of having received so much more than I could have asked for, certainly far more than I believe I would ever deserve. But God is good, and it feels like he's showered my life with a lot of amazing things, including the challenges that have grown me and have made me into a better person. Now a better husband, a better employee, a better innovator, a better reflector, musician, songwriter, teacher, so much, you know. And standing in this room right now, this is the room of our house that I'm just going to turn the fan on here. This is the room of our house that we've lived in for a few months now, that is being formed into a very creative space. A space where innovation happens, where conversations happen, production, songs happen, work happens. It's exciting. It's coming together. It's still serving as much of it is like a catch-all, kind of a storage space for the things that haven't found their rightful homes, whether that's somewhere in our dwelling or giving it away. But it's coming together. Things are taking shape, and I find with every book that I take out of a storage bin and put on the shelf, and I'm just going through all of these things that have just been in storage for so long, and I haven't really had space for them the last year and a half or so. And now I have the space to be able to let them just find their spaces, right? And I get to cultivate with intention my space. Super cool. This is something I've actually dreamt about for a long while. What lessons have you learned this year? I'm going to turn the fan off because it's making the camera wave back and forth. What lessons have you learned this year? I have learned quite a few things. One of them is that it's supremely important that you get in the room with the right people. You got to be in the room with the right people on a consistent basis, whether that's in your work environment, your spiritual community, or just, friend groups. And we only have finite amounts of resources, and the most valuable resource, I believe, is our time. If we are spending all of our time around people that may pose as our friends or our allies, but truly, and not just suspecting, but truly they deep in their hearts really just want to keep you around because you are a convenience or you're a very beneficial asset that makes their life or people's lives easier. But in the back of their mind, they hope you don't get too successful and do too well, because then you might not need them anymore and you might actually move on with your life. So they kind of keep you capped, and that affects what they say or don't say to you, even subconsciously. Am I being clear? Are you hearing what I'm saying on that? Be in the room with the right people. And Ask God to give you the grace and the strength and the courage to be able to cut ties when you need to cut ties and find find those people that are going to actually really build you up and root for you. Here's the kind of person or people you don't want to consistently spend time around. Don't spend time around people that want to control you or actually just do control you or try. Okay. Don't spend your time around people that only have nice things to say to you, because you need people in your life that can love you by encouraging you, but also telling you like it is. And they love you enough to tell you the truth. Well before it's too late, or at least try. And it's hard to find people like that. Hard to find people like that. At least in my experience, if you know of a treasure trove of people that are encouraging but also have healthy dispositions of accountability and can be candid, let me know. I want to find where that treasure trove is. I want to see what's going on, what's going right with that kind of community. But truthfully, that kind of person is very uncommon. Probably because that kind of person, someone who is a truth teller, like a truth teller and not just someone who just belligerently speaks their mind and vents their feelings, someone who really speaks the truth even when it comes at a cost to them emotionally and otherwise, it's costly. It's costly. And most people don't want to pay the cost of being honest and authentic. They just don't. They don't want to deal with the repercussions. They don't want to deal with losing favor with human beings. Yeah, it's real. Get in the room with the right people. And please go to God, of course, about it, but figure out with Him, figure out who you need to just not spend as much or any more time with. Because bad company, this is scripture, bad company corrupts good character. You want to have good character? Keep the right company. You want to screw it all up? Just hang out with all the wrong people. So, 3, take risks. Do stuff imperfectly. Be okay with less than perfect. The perfectionism that you and I have in our wiring, in our blood, it seems, is doing us far less favors than it is hindering us. It's holding us back in so many more ways than it's helping us. You don't know what perfect is. I don't know what perfect is. We barely know what excellence is. Excellence is a very elusive standard. How do we define excellent? Usually excellence is just a disguise for what our own version of what perfect is. And then things don't end up getting done. We don't make any progress. Days go by, months go by, years go by. Perfect stopped us from ever doing the thing. So I hope that an encouragement to you and I, especially if you are like myself, you are a creative heart, a free spirit, that you would do the stuff, that God would give you the courage and the boldness to do the stuff without any kind of fearful reservation. Do the stuff, pour it out. Here's a little kick in the tail for you and I. There are people way less talented than you and myself with way less character and integrity that have no business distributing what they have. And they are, and they can, and they're doing really well for themselves. And maybe they're helping some people along the way. Imagine what you could do. Imagine what you could do if you just poured out that thing that God gave you without reservation, with a heart to bless people, with a heart to reflect God's character, to reflect Jesus Christ, and to enrich people's lives, to be that flavor to the world, that salt of the earth. All this talking I've done maybe has led to this one point right here where we're just like, maybe the reason that you and I spent this time together was just to come to the point where it's like, it's time to do the thing. And the thing for you may be different than my thing, but the thing for you, I think you know deep in your heart what that is. If you've been praying and hoping with God, you know what that thing is. So maybe after this video is over, or even right now, you pause this video and you're like, I'm going to go do just that next step of the thing that I know I've been putting on the sidelines. I've put on the shelf. I'm going to go do the thing. I'm going to do what has scared me, but I'm going to be courageous in the face of that fear. Whatever may comprise that fear, I'm just going to defy that fearful reluctance with action. That's the key right there. It really is. It's the key. You're probably skillful at the thing that you know you're meant to do. Fuller time than what you're doing now. Maybe you're not doing it anytime now. Maybe you've laid aside those gifts and those things. Maybe because you had to. But do the thing. And you know what? Hopefully I'll be around quite a lot longer to encourage you to go do the thing some more. God bless. Merry Christmas. Talk to you again soon.